So here I've bred my 60 base pals. They're not perfect in IVs, but everything else is maxed. So first I was considering what pal to start with. I was really close to starting with Xenolord. But then I figured starting with Jignis. The weakness for Jignis is Holy Burst. So I figured if I start with Jignis, it might spread out a bit more. Just roaming now during the day. And hopefully survive. Like the Holy Burst might just go on one of them. That was the tactic anyway for going with Jignis first. Didn't think much deeper than that. Tried to stop the first attack with some ice, and it worked well. Stopped the big scary laser. Probably the scariest skill. Not sure if it's laser or Holy Burst, which is worse. And here you're just hoping he gets frozen during some big attack as well. Already you see some Jignis getting very low. You really want to focus on doing a lot of damage yourself here. Like, don't get too distracted, because you want to nuke the boss as much as possible. Here, I'm not sure what is the best tactic, if you should focus the boss or the ads. I usually go for the ads, just to make my pals focus the boss more with like Holy Burst and stuff. I don't feel like Holy Burst does a whole lot. I did go for Absolute Frost, hoping they would just clear the ads, but I feel like the ads mostly go for you. They don't tend to group up around the base pals. So general tactics against Cenolord is you're gonna be doing a lot of switching at the base pals. So you wanna work on your shield management a lot in this one. But like, instead of nuking during the knockdown phase here, the stun phase, you wanna switch pals. Or make sure that you have full shields and full health before switching pals. So it's the switch that's the most dangerous if you don't want to die. Like, you have the option to just accept that you're gonna die and die a lot switching pals. If you don't want to die, it's all about managing the shields. You do another pal switch. I think versus Ultra it seems like he doesn't get stunned then summon ads. He summons ads before he gets stunned, making it a bit more difficult. So you really want your base pals to survive through the ad phase, and then you can switch pals during the stun phase. But here, my Frostallion died. I have to go for the backup Frostallion. I might as well switch base pals. They weren't dead yet. They were probably doing pretty fine. But I figured once I was there, I might as well switch. So this is a combat Frostallion. It's not like really prepped. I didn't get any Carbonara or anything. So one thing that happened there is that since I switched pals early, he bugged out his teleport skill and ended up summoning a bunch of meteor pals over in the river. I'm not sure if they come roaming later on in the fight, but I think it's 4 waves of ads. I don't think you can do that consistently, but it was otherwise this laser skill probably would have cleared them up anyway. That's why I was using it, at least against the regular Xenolord. One wave of that laser skill, just one shot all that. Then it's the lag skill. My main tactic with that skill was just getting a lot of healing done, but I don't think it adds up being that much healing. It's 15 health per second, so during that like skill, sure they're spreading out and stuff, but it's not a lot of health really. Probably better to just use Holy Burst or something. So another pal swap, another wave of lasers. And here I thought it was done. This is the first Ultra attempt. I probably over-prepped before trying it. So I thought it was gonna be 2 waves, like the regular version. But it's gonna be more ads coming in. I can talk a little bit about the choice of pals as well. Cenolord was not really planned to be used as an army. It just happened while I was breeding for Demon God. I just wanted a good Xenolord first, so that's the first pal I started breeding in Fabric. I ended up with this many Xenolords before I got Demon God to mutate. And then Jignis to resist. I'm not sure how good Jignis really is, but I think it resists the most skills. Ultra version uses fire. The regular version used to use fire, then they nerfed the regular version to use no fire skills. So you can use ice, like Frostallion and Bastigor, against the regular Xenolord, but I don't think it works against this version, because he uses like 3 or 4 fire skills. It's also very dangerous for the Frostallion mount. Turns out a combat Frostallion is also good at clearing out the ads. So maybe I should have done that before. Use double Blizzard Spike on the ad packs. He's pretty good. But here I just see that I have full shields. So I was just hoping to get in and do a switch real quick here. But I think I messed it up. I should have gone like further away. I get hit, I think, trying to do the switch. Yeah, here. So I probably should have backed off to regen again. But I kinda just went for it. I think I got pretty lucky here to not be attacked. I was messing up the switch. It's an important skill in Palworld. You need to be good at switching files. But I somehow survived that switch. And then I feel like these Jignises just did so much damage. So instead of Xenolords, you should probably breed like 30 to 45 Jignis with the double Blizzard Spike instead of Absolute Frost. But yeah, you get a hat, a fancy hat. Doesn't give any stats, but yeah. I'll go into the prep now, like how I prepared for this fight and how some more tactics and consumables and stuff to enjoy. So I'll show a little bit about the setup and the prep that I did to do Cenolord Ultra, starting with the pals that I used in the army. Is German Jignis still the king of raids? It was the best against Rio, it was the best against Libro pretty much. It might still be the best raid pal against Xenolord Ultra, because it uses Dragon, Dark, and Fire skills, so German Jignis resists all of them. The biggest issue is Holy Burst. Xenolord on Ultra difficulty uses Holy Burst, and Jignis is very weak to that. So I'm not sure which is the best pal. I went for Jignis just because it's my favorite pal. So it helps that it's very good against raid bosses, but maybe we'll find another pal in the future that is better. And then the first army, Cenolord. I kind of ended up having this army as a byproduct from breeding for Demon God. It took me 3,500 hatches to mutate Demon God. When you're breeding for passives, you want to use parents with one passive. And hopefully you mutate what you want. I got very unlucky. I mutated stuff like Diamond Body and the food passives and stuff a couple of times. I just got very unlucky with Demon God. You'll probably get it before. But when you have 3,500 hatches, that's around 30 pals. So I ended up with a pal army, so I just went for it. I don't think it's super good against Xenolord. I don't really recommend it. It resists some of the skills, but being part dark means it doesn't resist the dragon skills, which isn't great. We probably don't go for this pal. Then the souls. The pal souls was probably the biggest grind. You should do it while you're breeding. It's around 6,500 giant pal souls. This new pal soul, you need 90 of them per pal, and then the other souls is on top of that. It becomes, if you're butchering, it's around 13,000 butchers. If it's expeditions, it's around 800 expeditions if you're doing the Dark Cave of Faebreak one. Or you could be farming Predator pals on Faebreak, but that's 1,609 Predator pals. So it's quite a lot of farming to get these. I pretty much just spammed expeditions. I had my 5 bases here, all of them with a expedition. There, just spamming the Faebreak one for souls, and then a little bit for cavern mushrooms, but I'll get to that later. So quite a lot of soul farming. The breeding itself I did cover. I had 3. This was before it became a Holy Burst base, it was a breeding base. There are 3 breeding bases, 20 breeding farms in total, just breeding Xenolords that I then switched to German Jignis. I figured since Xenolord, like, you can't breed stuff onto it. I figured I might as well mutate Demon God on it because I wanted a good Xenolord anyway. Just because it's the new raid boss. So it made sense to just breed Cenolord first and then breed out to Jignis. That's what I ended up doing. Just having all these bases breeding first Cenolord and then switching them to Jignis. And then breeding the exclusive skills onto Jignis. So I went for Absolute Frost. I kind of regret it now. I probably should have gone for double Blizzard Spike instead. I'll have to test which one is better. I was hoping Absolute Frost would deal with the summons, the ads a little bit, but I'll have to test. Maybe I'll have to rebreed them for double Blizzard Spike if I ever want to farm Xenolord Ultra. But I doubt I'll have to do that. It's easier to just farm Rio now for that. So the breeding method I used was just breeding until I had a 4/4 pal like this. And then, where's the glasses? Here. Then I would give the first pal I got the ivy fruits. So I had one set of parents of each one maxed out with ivy fruits, and then I just took the first 30. So they're not 100 IV, they're just max level, max condense, and souls. But the IVs were just whatever 30 pals I got first. Some are missing because they're in breeding farms right now. Breeding some new favorite pals. So that's the breeding method pretty much. Just having a lot of them. Ivy fruits on the first parents, then taking what I got. For leveling, the new base XP. I got my legendary sphere base. It provided a lot of XP. And then the farming of predator pals also gave a lot of XP. And then I had a lot of scrolls and training crystals left over. But just passive farming while breeding worked out pretty well with the new base XP, training crystals for the last couple of levels where it really slows down. For the passive skills, I haven't really tested anything. I just took the first 30 mutations I got. So some of them had the new vampiric skill. All of them had demon god, that was the main one. But some of them had impatient and some of them had vampiric. And then I had like one or two that were just random with diamond body and some stuff. So I'll have to test which kind of passive. And then most of the Jignis were just, I think all of them had this build. Demon God, Legend, Serenity, Musclehead. I'm not sure how much Vampiric would do. I feel like if you skip out on any of these passives, you're losing a lot of attack. And you really want to hit those stun timers still. So this is the build I went for. I'd be surprised if the other builds were better. Maybe. I'm not sure what you would switch. Like maybe switch Musclehead for something. I'm not sure. Vampiric, is it worth it? Maybe. The skills themselves, yeah. That's why we have the skill fruit base now. You need 60 skill fruits of each one. Diamond Rain and Holy Burst. And then this one was inherited. They didn't need to breed for that. And then Diamond Rain on these. I think I mixed the skills a little bit. I had Holy Burst on some and Cosmic Meteor on some. Not sure which is best. Cosmic Meteor is just because of the medicine, the healing potion. I was hoping like if they spent a lot of time in the air, they might heal a little bit. But I think like the time spent in the air, they might heal like 100, 200 health. So probably not worth it. Should probably be running some ice skill over Cosmic Meteor. Omega Laser seemed super good though. Really cleared out ads. And does a lot of boss damage. He's not resisting it because he's part dark. I think just switch Cosmic Meteor to Holy Burst. Like this one. And it's fine. But really don't use this pal probably. I will need to do more DPS tests as well. Consumables. Well, I went for the advanced recovery meds. Make sure to max out your research before crafting all of these. 62 of them if you're using it on your mount as well. Yourself, overall, not super important actually. I think when I look back on the fight, I had around 1 to 2 minutes, so 1,000 to 1,000 HP healed. It's like 10% of the pal's health, so maybe worth it if you want to farm it. Maybe it made the difference, not sure. I actually don't think you need like 60 perfect pals for the fight. You could probably get away with 30 to 45 perfect Jignises instead of having the Xenolords. Or maybe if you add some other pal that turns out to be better than Jignis. You could probably do 45 pals instead of 60. But it's still like a lot of consumables if you're using the recovery meds for it. Then Mammoth Curry, new food, 25% attack. Very good. Another reason I didn't want to go for Vampiric and stuff. Because this stacks so well with just going for the Musclehead build. And then Carbonara only for the Frostallion mount. Just to make it survive a little bit. And then I had a backup Frostallion mount. And then I would probably have like 15 more backup Frostallion mounts in the box if I'd scrolled further. Ended up needing it. It's quite takes a chunk of damage even with legend and maxed souls and everything. Might need to max the IVs to make it survive more. It did have Carbonara and the advanced recovery meds. Overall on the player this is very strong. If you're fighting the entire 10 minutes it's 9000 health. So it's either that or using Fellbat. Otherwise you're probably gonna die during the fight. For the build, like the player build, I got the Dragon Resistance Ring and the Dark Resistance Ring. Not sure if they're worth it over an attack pendant and a defense pendant, but I felt like they might have made the difference. You're being hit quite a lot by the Dark Summon Pals. If you're being hit by exclusive skills, it's good. Then still Sakurajima gear. I have not really been impressed by the Fabric gear so far. I'll craft it if I ever get something legendary. The difference didn't seem to be too big. And I still think the quad launcher is like the best weapon overall for bosses. The build, as mentioned, just Frostallion and Gobfins. Not sure if this is still the best build for this type of fight. I feel like it's all about sustain and getting the switches with the party pals, or the base pals rather. Getting all the base pals switched out correctly. So maybe using Knocklims or a more defensive build. Not sure what that would be. Like War Sects and Fellbats or something. Could be an option to just survive and do a lot of switching of pals before they die. Let them heal in the box. So maybe this is not it's just a safe bet, you know. It's been the go-to build for everything so far. So it's the old, I think I made this before Libro was even released. It's been in the repertoire a long time. Double Blizzard Spike, I removed everything just to not misclick too much. Then it's the old Gobfins as well, nothing new there. No souls or anything, just Gobfins. Maybe add Fellbat here and summon it out and shoot some rockets to heal every now and then. Could be worth it. But I think that was it for the prep. One little tip is you would probably die during the fight. You could just stand at the box and accept that. But then you want to carry, like you will see in the video itself, I'm only carrying the stuff that I want to pick up in the right order. So if I die, I can just pick it up and it will be the correct gear, the correct accessories, correct weapons. So I dropped all this in my main base before the fight, like stuff like this. So I would just pick up the right stuff. But I think that was it for like the prep and the general tips. So I might have overcooked it a little bit with 60 base pals. One thing I forgot to mention is the research. Make sure to match the research. Every work suitability thing in the research structure has a buff. Yeah, so this building here, the research building, this right hand side, defense, attack. Can we see the entire thing? Okay, here, it's 18 and 18. Not sure if I've maxed all of them. I think I have. Would make sense if it was 20 though, right? Okay, anyway, 18 and 18%. So you want to max the research tree as well. So that's just one thing I forgot to mention. Yeah, I think that's it for the ultra fight. So for now, thanks for watching.